be regenerative and be girl donors. Being really quiet because here's a bunch of bison. It's the last of the herd that I've been watching for the last few hours out here in one of my study plots. Study plot called Skull Shed. Even though they're so far away, you can still kind of hear them. Oh, the last of them are just dipping over the hill there. So there's a few cool things happening. I have developed quite an affinity for this sunflower called Maximilian sunflower, Helianthus maximiliani, for so many reasons. One, because I got a really cool message from a farmer after the Alameda fire that saw that I had been planting it in a regenerative bee pasture test plot in Ashland, Oregon. And so they decided to give it a try and planted a whole field of it. And turns out it's fire resilient. The Alameda fire burned almost everything on their property except for the field of these sunflowers, which I think is just so interesting and so cool and makes me think about things like fire breaks or like fire resilient moats of sunflowers. The other really cool thing about these flowers is that last year in August and September I was here, right exactly here where I'm sitting now, observing the bison when these flowers were in full bloom, and they were just teeming with big giant bumblebees, which was so cool, and honeybees and all sorts of other really cool bees. They were above and beyond feeding more bees and more species of bees than any other flower out here at that time. And the really cool thing about it was part of this project is trying to I'm trying to understand the relationship between bison and bees and wondering how they engineer habitat for each other and if they engineer habitat for each other. And so I was watching the bison last year go through these fields of sunflowers, and it was really cool because they didn't eat the sunflowers as long as they were blooming. They would only eat them after they had gone to seed. And it was really cool because I would come back day after day, and it was like 1 or 2 days after the flower had like given up the ghost and gone to seed, the bison herd would pass through and munch the tops of them off. I have some really cool pictures of that, but in where I'm sitting, you can see evidence of that. Right here is a stalk of sunflower that was munched after it all bloomed, and there's a lot of them out here. Actually, it's just like a sea of little stalks like this, but also, as you can see, they left quite a few as well, which is amazing because the Maximilian sunflower reproduces rhizominously, so they send like rhizomes through the soil. So this is like actually one big giant flower, kind of like an aspen grove that I'm sitting in. But then they also do have seeds, and so by leaving a few of these, they feed birds, and the birds can help spread the seeds. Another cool way, which obviously is bee friendly, because more of these flowers, the more that bees get to eat. But this right behind me, that you might have noticed, is really, really super soft, very downy, very, very nice bison fur. This is their winter coat, and it is surprisingly silky soft. And it's really fun to watch birds just come through, and also little prairie dogs that are here as well, and they are peeling all of this right off of these flowers, and it sticks to the flowers like Velcro. As they're walking through, the flower, these like spiky little flower tops just pull the bison fur right off. And it's like, out here, it's just like a sea of like these little flower skeletons, just like with downy bison winter coat waving in the wind. And all these little critters are coming and picking it up and making their spring nests for them. So it's really beautiful to see. Another really beautiful thing to see is as we're looking around, let me see if I can find a good example for you. They're eating the grass, which is, I'm really happy to see, because the grass that's here is actually smooth brome. It's a non-native grass that can be extraordinarily bossy with other plants, and it's really, really hard to get rid of, and it creates all this thatch and makes it like nearly impossible for native plants and native bunch grasses and native flowering forbs to grow, which of course these are the things that we need for bee habitat. But check it out. So bison have gone through and they have like chewed the grass down to nubbins. Can you see how like short this grass is? They were just here minutes ago chewing this grass down to absolutely nothing. But check it out. It's almost like someone went through here with like a fine tooth, teeny tiny little weed whacker. Not one leaf on one helianthus sunflower, which is what this plant is, has been touched. And I've found these little bunches of sunflowers. I've been out here looking and I haven't seen one sunflower with one bite out of a leaf. And what they're instead doing is mowing down all of the grass, so the sunflowers can live their best lives yet one season more and feed the bees. So these are just some really fun observations that I wanted to share with you while I'm out here, and hope you're all having a lovely, wonderful day, and thanks so much for listening.